There is this freedom approach, and for me, comparing classical poetry to this is like comparing classical music to jazz.
Like a modern piece of art, like a painting with all different fractions and forms and colors, and everything is kind of pieced together, and it seems confusing and rough at first place, but if you look at it, you see so many different little details that you did not catch maybe from reading it the first time, and you experience so much more and the deeper meaning after looking at it for a couple of minutes and hours maybe.
I am punished in every personal way, drowned in a dream, drying on its very own importance, hanged high enough to forget the weight of the ground, burnt beyond recognition from a fiery ego, fooled by the music, echoing someone else's pride and joy. I am punishably the beauty that I do not become, bored by the imperfection, aiming at all notions. I concede the most imperfect season in which my teeth rot, my eyes blur, my sex refuses powerlessly, and my soul punishes other souls, being unpunished. Wasted by the time, jealously it favors death over youth after.
There are a lot of pain in this poem. This pain is connected with your ego.
I definitely feel a lot of self-deprecation.
As a search for identity in some way, a person that struggles with what its surroundings maybe want it to be, in the conflict of not even knowing what he wants to be.
It's definitely weighted on someone else's expectations of him.
Trying to accomplish things that I cannot accomplish because of perfectionism, and trying to push myself too hard, so hard that I stop living.
I am punished in every personal way, drowned in a dream, drying on its very own importance, hanged high enough to forget the weight of the ground, burnt beyond recognition from a fiery ego, fooled by the music, echoing someone else's pride and joy. I am punishably the beauty that I do not become, bored by the perfection, aiming at all notions. I concede the most imperfect season in which my teeth rot, my eyes blur, my sex refuses powerlessly, and my soul punishes other souls, being unpunished. Wasted by the time, jealously it favors death over youth after.
I'm punished in every way, and then he talks about like himself and that like he feels so ostracized from everyone else.
I am punishably the beauty that I do not become. Kind of summarizes the whole poem here. A lot of people in this world who are just, they try to be someone which they are not from inside.
Fooled by the music, echoing someone else's pride and joy. Empathetic person, but sometimes I wonder what are feelings that are my own versus what I'm listening in others and just I'm copying others.
This poem is like a mirror of our society, unfairness, what we show in our social medias like Instagram and Facebook, these photos that we post that they are not real.
Drowned in a dream, drying on its very own importance.
You're being drowned by your own self-importance. I really feel that a lot.
I like that line.
Yeah, and the first line, I'm punished in every personal way. Like you're constantly, the only person who's punishing you is yourself. Like all the time. It's just
right.
your own thoughts and your own, yeah.
The ego telling you that you're the best, that your ideas are the best, and then for that reason you must not listen to anybody else.
Yeah, or it's telling you you're not the best.
Or also
and then it's just always critiquing you.
Right.
Someone who can understand this, I can tell they do understand a lot of depth of this world and human emotions, how people are bringing on themselves things or sufferings that they don't really have to. You might have seen those, either the sufferings or you have gone through that and kind of realized that those sufferings most of the time are something that we ourselves bring it on ourselves.
Our pain is connected with our wishes, and our wishes they are connected with all this society stuff. and that's why we are not connected with our true nature.
Burn beyond recognition from a fiery ego, because I think we're all susceptible to our own emotions and to our own narcissistic elements, and it's constantly a battle between knowing right from wrong. The protagonist is self-importance is weighing down every other emotion in himself, but he's also surrounded by a lot of inspiration. He's looking to navigate that as well as his other emotions and people in his life.
Hanged high enough to forget the weight of the ground.
When you're so in your scope of vision of like your life, and then you almost get taken out of it and you see the big picture and you see everyone's lives and how they all...
My sex refuses power... No. I concede the most imperfect season in which my teeth rot, my eyes blur. It's kind of aggressive and like explicit.
But also this whole thing of my sex refuses powerlessly is a funny... feels like juxtaposition, you know? Like,
yes, there's definitely a lot of juxtaposition.
My eyes blur, my teeth rot, my sex refuses powerlessly. A message about the punishment of time, the unforgivable nature of time, that will not give you another chance, so you just have to go with it. But the thing is that when you choose to be an optimist, it's possible to turn the whole punishment story into something else, because it can be a progression. Maybe it is more acceptance than punishment. Acceptance might be more necessary.
Everyone else's pride and joy. Echoing, I'm fooled by the music.
Wasted by the time.
Jealously, it favors death over youth. Jealously, it favors death over youth.
What, like youth is fleeting?
Yes, but jealously.
You can connect to this where you feel the world crumbling down or nothing is going your way.
Hopeful, even though the wording and the feeling I think is kind of intense and harsh at the same time. Somebody recognizing that they want to take the power back. They have control, even though they're being punished at the same time.
I am punished in every personal way, drowned in a dream, drying on its very own importance. Hanged high enough to forget the weight of the ground, burnt beyond recognition from a fiery ego, fooled by the music, echoing someone else's pride and joy. I am punishably the beauty that I do not become, bored by the perfection aiming at all notions. I concede the most imperfect season in which my teeth rot, my eyes blur, my sex refuses powerlessly, and my soul punishes other souls being unpunished. Wasted by the time, jealously it favors death over youth after. And I love like the choreography in this poem, like it's kind of erratic in the way that you've spaced certain words and the line breaks.
This was the point where I really stopped and reflected with Fooled by the Music, echoing someone else's pride and joy. The way it went down, it made me pause and reflect the deeper meaning, and especially because I feel a deep connection to music in my life, and that's the most important part. I have been at that point trying to echo someone else or trying to be what somebody else expects of me, being deeply confused and fooled by maybe the approval you get from being what you think other people want you to be.
We have words that are divided that should actually be together, which gives them in some context a whole new meaning, which forces you to stop reading, to reflect on what you have read before, since there's a pause where you wouldn't expect it.
When I don't have the flow of the word, I have to really stop and think about what I just read, because it's so divided in some point that you don't even understand the word in the first form of reading it.
Actually, I think that the echo is sort of the centerpiece, both visually and contextually, because the conflict of what the poet actually wants to be like, wants to live, wants to experience, versus what his surroundings tell him to. I think it's sort of the anchor point.
A space in which you can say echo very slowly, because it takes 4 lines.
This part, it looks fresh. This, like the echo. It's
kind of unorthodox, and I love the echo. That's very cool.
you feel the echo if you read it, and that's what I think it's very impressive for a text.
Trying to break down things and present it in a waterfall way, or like water, how it flows. So from that perspective, a lot of even if I read the way the things are structured, it's not how you write English in general, like one word after the other, but rather it's more of a flow.
The structure definitely parallels the sentiment behind the poem. It's rigid and it's irradiated in a way, confiscates the attention of the reader to the structure of the words on the page, and it gives an added sense of irritability and the confusion that the author is trying to put across to the reader.
Life is not always fair, but ultimately I do have the choice. Most of the things I do are just because of me. Do I feel victimized? Not exactly. When I was a child, yes, I felt punished because I could not go away, but now it's quite different.
Privileged to say I'm not punished because I have a good surrounding of family and people, and everything in my life is basically laid out for me. But I think, yeah, in some ways you always feel punished in situations where you maybe feel something happened that is unfair to you or that you don't deserve. But
punishment implies that you feel that you have done something wrong and as a matter of fact deserve the bad that's happening to you. And I think all of us experience points where we feel that things that happen are not fair or are not good for us, but I wouldn't consider them a punishment, since I do not see myself in a position where I deserve it actually, but instead I think I should actively fight the bad that's happening to me.
But I think I'm punished by things that I do, and I'm blessed by things I do and by others.
Because of sexism, because I'm a woman.
Of gay men and women in this day and age, because more than straight guys, they're punished by time. Whether I use the word aging or time, it's pretty much the same thing, because time goes by, years goes by, and everything is going south. We don't have an unlimited contract.
I'm punished. I'm punished by self-doubt.
We're blessed with privilege.
Oh yes, that's definitely yes, you're right. White, able-bodied, we're financially in comfortable situations. We're able to, and so yes, blessed by privilege is a great answer. And then punished.
No, everyone has their demons and their issues that they're trying to work through.
No, I wouldn't say I'm punished. Not blessed. We just exist in the moment we've got, and that's all we can do. It's best not to take time to think about whether we're punished or blessed. I think just going with the time in which we live, that's all you can do.
We cannot be only punished or only blessed. They are both sides. In one moment we can be punished, another moment we can be blessed, and it's okay.
Somebody looking in a mirror and feeling this way and comparing themselves to others.
It is some symbol of duality.
Or maybe somebody's looking at this picture and feeling like they want to be that person.
So we see a man in a very sexual way, in a very attractive way, aesthetic.
Greek statue feeling to it. It's like the ideal of male beauty.
It definitely feels like sexual to me.
But not sexual, it feels like sensual, like in a way that's not like explicitly sexual. It's like, you know, when you see a Greek statue, like he would be doing that
statue
pose.
meets like muscle tanning. I'm getting slightly queer vibes from the photo.
Yes, me too.
And so that could tie into the I am punished. Society tends to punish people who don't fit into the box that they want people to fit into. And so if this photo is going against that, if it's breaking the box.
This is like all happening inside the person, but this is a part in which society pushes its weight on the person, making the person feel this way, even if it's not responsible for it. Like or like there's no reason why.
He looks selfish and egocentric.
And if we're talking about the ego, maybe this is like what the ego wants to look like.